Good evening, everyone. The time is now 6:01 and I'll call the meeting to order. First on the agenda is review and approval of minutes from August meeting. We did not have those, so that will have to be tabled for a month. Would anybody like to discuss anything on that? Hearing nothing, moving forward. Fall information request status updates. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're pretty much in the same spot as we were last month.
Yes.
What's that?
Excuse me, crickets.
Crickets? Does the, go ahead.
Please listen.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Alyssa. I'm sure groups getting medium frustrated, if not worse with this. Alyssa, I have copies of the agenda if you'd like. This will be.
They'll text me, Melissa, has to review.
And then just to bring you up to speed, Alyssa, we tabled approving our minutes. We don't have one from last month.
Okay.
That's the only thing you missed. So on the information requests, I'm sure the group is getting really frustrated. I'm not sure where to proceed from here. I'm gonna open it to the table for any discussion.
Just keep asking for information, that's all.
Yeah. Does group wanna continue with, and I'm not advocating that I start barking or anything, but do we wanna ratchet up a little bit how much we ask and request? Do you want me to approach the administration? Or do we wanna just keep with the status quo and go from there?
Hey, June. And
Sorry.
No problem. How are you?
Good. You know. It's all good. Everything's good.
Here you go.
we're getting close to the witching hour where we really have to be looking at stuff. It's not fair that we dropped all this information at the last minute.
It's a big nut to crack, or pick any cliche phrase. There's a lot for us to responsibly go through.
Right.
And I'm new to it, so my head's just swimming in anticipation of what we get to dig through.
Right.
Sure the other new members feel the same way, maybe.
Absolutely. And the old members do.
Yes, the health numbers are. We're worried again that here we are in
Again.
a third of the way through the month, almost halfway through the month. Still don't have any kind of, anything we can use to start even thinking about what our budgets look like.
Jamie's email said that there was some stuff on the drive.
I didn't get the chance to look at Jamie's email until this afternoon because I do not keep my email on my phone for sanity as an installer out in the field.
Yeah.
Cause I'm field based, not office based, even though I do office stuff, long story short. I looked at the drive for 2 seconds, like literally, I'm not 100% sure if there's anything new on there or not.
Nothing's in the drive.
Off subject, but Alyssa, if you'd like to join us at the table, you don't have to, but we're kind of informal and I just don't want you to feel like you're in the corner.
If you, I mean, I don't. I certainly don't mind if you're listed.
And then, whereas we try to have slightly less formal, constructive conversations. And you can add to them if you feel like participating in the conversation. I'm not running a super formal meeting unless we dive into super formal topic.
All right, happy to then. Thank you.
Well, we'd love to have the presidents, you know, just more at the table, working on the mission at hand, the better.
Great. Thank you.
License like yes.
Yes, I'm license. I have a study project. That works.
Check my own protein shape.
To the non-new members of the group, when does the proverbial witching hour flip to where in deep doo-doo? Last month?
I think it's starting.
Yeah.
It started, so we're already,
I mean, it's starting from the DO. E25 is gonna be a month later.
Well, I thought they pushed that to the end of the month, right? It's not due to the state until the 30th of this month.
It was due the first of September.
I think with what was going on, with Claremont, the DOE said that it was now to the 30th.
That I don't know.
Sorry, I work for the Hanover School District, so that's what our VA was saying, our boards, so I assumed it's statewide, I think.
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything of the sort. I know that we approved a 30-day extension, a request for,
Yeah, I think that was what the DOE was pushing to all. So I think it's not due until the 30th.
Can you refresh me on what the
Fine,
deadline was?
The first and.
What it was for, sorry,
Oh,
DOE, what report?
25?
But we thought we were gonna work during the summer.
Right.
And it's a school district to look at interim budgets and interesting, that didn't happen. Last month, there was, looking at the board minutes. For the board presentation, there was a statement that the goal, that they had set up a goal. We asked for the goal. Didn't get anything from that. So, even if you just have the documents from the board meeting, and you ask any question, you don't get an answer back, so. That's a problem. At this point.
Yeah, and to, I guess, further expand on. If we don't start getting information that we need soon, then it turns into what happened last year, which was we worked a lot in December and then we go into Christmas feeling like we're not ready. And then we don't have consensus, or last year we didn't have consensus between the school board and the budget committee going into the final realm. And it just puts a lot more, strain on us, because we in the past, we tried to work, collaboratively with the school board, so that our numbers are the same rolling into the, deliberative session, or like the here, what am I saying?
We were asked to vote on the budget, got all the information to even get an idea of what it was. A half hour, 45 minutes before I was asked to build one.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I won't do that again.
Man, I would have made an even bigger statement at the budget hearing if I'd known that.
So it's difficult, it's frustrating, you're not trying to, we understand that administration's doing lots of things. There's lots of pieces that go into this, there's lots of stuff happening behind the scenes. It's just, there's just not a lot of time to put it all together, and so it just becomes, I don't wanna go into what we did last year, where we have our Saturday sessions in December, and we don't feel coming out of them that we are basically ready to have a number. So if we're gonna sacrifice a Saturday, especially in December, I've said this before, I have small kids. That's time that I'm giving to the greater good, and I have no problem doing that, but I want it to be productive. And I don't want it to be unproductive, so.
those are some questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I haven't been able to attend a lot of meetings. I haven't watched them, so I apologize. So I'm hoping you can educate me here. I have seen, so after we chatted earlier today, I did go in, so I've got the ability to go to the draft, so I see all of the requests. Steve and I have talked about the requests that are made and not answered. To let you know, I do have a meeting with Lori next week, so we're gonna go through that. Because it is obviously incredibly frustrating. You guys all take your roles very, very seriously. And the district as a whole, I'm certain appreciate that not speak to them, but I'm relatively comfortable saying so. knowing what information is available currently. And what it seems like everybody's asking for has me wondering if they are even compatible. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are looking for a lot of the same things, because we want we to do the same work. So that being said, are you looking for the line item budget to work with? To create the next budget?
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so this, but just for point of context, right?
Mhm.
This document
That you just shared with
that
me.
is,
Mhm.
it's last year's.
Right.
Has nothing to do with this year's going forward.
This is FY 24.
Yeah, just sort of, so what it is what I'm looking for, and everybody can ask for something different. Is just budget versus actual. What we're encumbering and what was budgeted. Right, it's pretty simple report. What that does for me. Is it makes me look for where the variances are. The large variances, like, if something's over 300%. I can now say, okay, why is that 300%?
Mhm.
And is it a one-time deal, or is it something we have to adjust the budget for? Same thing goes the other direction. If it's extremely low, that you didn't spend the money, the question comes in, what did we over anticipate? And is that gonna be just a one-time savings, and we shouldn't anticipate it,
Right,
excuse me, into the next fiscal year,
Right, or do we have to just one?
or you just want, right? And that's why I like that report, it's something I've used in 3 different businesses now, so it's.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm familiar with it, but for some reason, they're just not able to produce it.
And
Yeah.
didn't we ask to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we ask for the report for last year, like the end of the year?
That's why that's this week's on July,
Okay.
so that's the whole year.
So you got this in July last year.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Okay,
July of 24.
Yep.
This is July of 24, this is July of 25, sorry.
I even emailed this back again, and said if it helped you,
so now that I see what document you're actually looking at.
Yeah.
I don't get it in this form. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's still not the same form that we got, which I probably should have run back out to my car and grabbed the one I got. But I'm looking at this and where it still has encumbrances, that means we obviously haven't paid those yet. And so,
that's correct.
so as of this document printing, so that makes sense now that I've seen this with what Lori's telling me. Because she is very clear that she doesn't want to give a bottom line that can be, whether you belongs here or not. I understand what she's saying is that without having all of these paid and completed, the number at the bottom isn't correct, because we don't really know what the answer is to these encumbrance numbers are not 100%. They're very close, but they could come in, pennies or dollars different. She wants to be 100% correct. You've got to hand it to her. We absolutely want that number. She's very, very particular. 90% is not okay with her.
I get that, but why can't it be labeled a draft or not final, or I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, but.
Any of those work. I get what you're saying.
Well, I mean, long story short, it's $38 or $40 million budget with font or article, warrant articles added on or whatever, or maybe we get down to 36, I don't know, all 35 if we want to use a low number. Anyways, I understand and
100% bottom line, so that
I
when she gives it to you, she's saying this is what the surplus is.
So conceptually. Or conversationally. Does the school board get something at least quarterly?
Yeah, we do.
Could
Let's
we,
look like this.
could we get those?
That's for that.
Well, this is all in the public,
I mean, I absolutely 100% of us will respect the fact that she wants to do her job to a T and not let one of us. Shoot a hole in it and make a problem. Or
And it's
maybe make a problem's the wrong word, I respect the the level of accuracy, but the size of what we're trying to undertake here. We have a table full of, and again, this is like, I've mentioned this several times. The chemistry of this committee is awesome. We have very well-rounded views. I would love to put this table to work for the school district and the school board.
Absolutely, so would I.
And,
So we're frustrated.
in our request, report, it clearly said. I understand the numbers might not be final, but that's okay.
So I guess what I'm asking is if you could work your side. Or however, and like, we would settle for being a quarter behind if we could have anything to analyze and do our thing for you guys
Mhm.
and the district.
Yes, so I will have that conversation about her comfort level, helping to understand that it doesn't have to be quite to that list. Like, you're not all going out to the public and saying we're getting, $2 million back because of this document, which is, I think, the concern. So we can certainly work on that. I don't have any service in here. I'm actually going to run out to my car, because I did print out the document we got, the last one we got was April, that shows essentially this in a very concise form, and it shows where we're over and where we're under. Let me go grab that, and then I'll come right in.
Thank you so much.
Context, okay. The first year, correct me if I'm wrong, both of you, when Lori came and she was working with, and Jerry, I don't remember if you were on the board with us then or not, but when she first came, we had some preliminary numbers and they, I think the questions that we had and that may have contributed to, her not wanting to give us draft numbers because we punched holes in it and said, what the heck, why can't we, why can't we get, the real bottom line? I don't remember exactly, but something to that effect. So that could, to her credit, that could be part of this, but there has to be some sort of middle ground where we can do some work so that when the final numbers roll out, we're not scrambling and we have the time to do the due diligence that we want to, so that we can dive in line by line if that's what we really need to do. Because now if we're in the same spot we were last year, and that's not great.
So they're not finished with 25's budget yet, 24's budget. Is that what I'm
Believe
understanding?
that.
They haven't closed it.
Yes,
So it sounds like, yeah, that's it.
And so, but yet, we have to work preparing the following budget.
so we need something, we need
Well,
something.
we need
It's not uncommon
No,
It's not.
to be, I think September's kind of late to be closing the fiscal year, but it may not be uncommon.
Well, when do they close their audit? Because usually it's not really official until they do their audit and we get the audit, right?
I'm not talking Mark. But it is what it is, right? I mean, the timing, if it's 80%, 85%, 90%, I don't know what it is. But as long as everybody goes into the idea that it's, there may be questions. It's fine. I mean, this is typical business, right? Things don't get closed up when you expect it, and
There isn't a business that closes typically, for the most part, and for a few years, if you're in a big corporate world.
oh, that's right.
So, they're still trying to calculate the eyes, and so I agree with everybody, we need something, a working budget, or whatever they want to label it, something that is at least current to date.
I'm sure the admin team has been working on the
Right.
budget already.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Already.
But it would be nice to know what's going on, right? And like I said, in one of the board meetings, they said they set the goal. And the simple question is,
What was it?
what was the goal? Right? That's a simple question.
So do we have enough to work on, at least analyze last year's budget like we were gonna do? I mean, at this point, we were gonna analyze 24's budget.
This
Is this,
It
is
was
this,
from July, you said,
That's from July of 24,
so not this past July,
right?
the July before,
Or,
so that's not helpful. And we'd have to. And you said it's not on the drive, so that's where I would go to see if we could get it on the drive and have Kyle put it up there, but if it's not.
well, what you want now is July 25, and you
Right.
don't want July 25.
That's too old.
It's too old, then. But. And there's another stumbling block in this whole process that I don't think it's right, but it's okay, it's their policy. That everything is being vetted through the school board.
Yeah.
So if you make a request, like, one of the requests that I made is, we've had large surpluses the last 3 years in a row. And I just asked if you can break down that surplus into 4 categories: general education, special ed, transportation, or facilities. Right, just to get an idea of what's causing the surplus. Right, that request was made, I don't know how many weeks ago, like 8 weeks ago or something like that. I said, I was told it was ready, it was gonna be presented at the next board meeting, didn't get presented at the next board meeting, so now I gotta wait another 4 weeks to get it.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah, we're like.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's right. Personally, I think that the information is the information, and why is it being vetted through another group?
of which we're entitled to it?
Yeah, now the Gabriel is arguing that point.
So. What?
Everything print up there.
So we did drift off, but related to the information request status updates, I mean, this is relative, but is there any more on that? I mean, we can still talk to current topic, but also trying to stay true to the agenda.
Yeah. I get the whole drive on my phone.
Bills.
It's not.
So just moving on down the agenda. I didn't get any reports from the administration. I know Alyssa is working to get us some information, so. I don't know if she can speak any to any of that. That gets us back onto this piece of paper, because now we're at year-to-date expenses sorted by object code. I didn't realize when I put this on the agenda that it was a full year old, so we can talk about this all we want, but I don't know how much going into the weeds on it is really
I
what.
wouldn't, I would just, it was an example of a
Yeah.
report that I thought was useful last time. And,
So what year was this? I'm sorry.
That's a full year old. That was an example. I thought
24. It's just an example of the report. I mean, the report's, I don't know how many pages long and pretty.
I thought it was current because I didn't read it. Chris fully when I put it on the agenda, so I thought I was put something on there with
There's
Good.
nothing on here that indicates that. so-
in the email.
I brought this tonight as, did we?
Oh.
Yeah, this is the same thing we emailed and then Jamie chimed in on it.
No, it's not.
It's not the same one?
No, there's
Oh,
nothing
my
to do with
word.
anybody but me.
Oh,
There's
What's
some,
the one you emailed me?
I didn't email you. Oh, Jamie asked for a sample of it.
It looked a lot like this.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I forgot.
So when I saw all that, I didn't catch the part
Jamie
that it was
wanted
actually.
to
all-
see a sample of the report that I was looking for. So I pulled that page and sent it to Jamie.
This report is. The one that you emailed, same thing, but the one that you emailed is a lot, it's long, obviously, a lot
Yeah.
A
more.
lot more pages.
Yeah.
I just printed out the first page and said, it's good enough for talking points.
Yeah,
Well,
Thank you for being patient.
Yeah, no problem.
So this is 23's budget.
yeah, so I
I
apologize.
finally did the years right. I'm like, we're going 24, 25. I'm like, yeah, but this.
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, now I'm on it.
So Melissa, what's the date on this one you're handing out?
April 25.
Okay.
You're writing April 30th.
Say it right now. Yeah, it does. I was just assuming it's.
So I do feel like we got this one.
Yes, we've got this one.
Jamie brought it to us.
Right
Probably
after,
did right after this meeting.
cause we got this right after I asked at the school board meeting when we went through when you guys went through it. We got it at our next meeting.
Okay, so this is what we get that tells us on a broader level than this very granular
Right.
report. Where these are, but it also, what it does that I really like is she tells us exactly what is overexpended and why. Which I think is part of the questions you're asking. So,
And I would be perfectly happy with something like this.
This is kind of like something we've asked for the last couple of years to have every month.
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
I like the notes with the D,
Yeah.
you can try it out.
And so this is the last one you got?
This is the last one I have. So, because again, all of the end of the year things are still going in. I can't add anything to that conversation at this point,
Fair enough.
but that'll be part of my conversation next week.
I think when you take this, which is great,
And then
and you take this, then you can dig down
Right.
to the level that you need to look at, like why is it underspent or why is it overspent? And you get Lori's note and it allows you to look to see exactly where it's coming from.
So even the school board, the last time you got one was April 30th? You didn't even get one July 30th?
So, no, because at this point, we are only meeting once a month. I know,
Nothing in August? Didn't get one?
no,
Okay, just triple verifying.
Wow, not okay.
okay,
I'm a bit shell shocked by that. To be honest. Whoa,
we had other reports and all of that kind of thing, we don't have this particular document.
This should be issued every month.
I would think so, yeah. It just, I mean, it's just print a piece of paper and give it to you and you can't get.
Yeah, this at least gives us a snapshot of what's going on.
I mean, even if it's not us, it's, you guys should definitely have it. Sorry, I'm a bit flabbergasted, to be honest.
Mhm.
But I do appreciate her wanting to be accurate.
We do.
Mhm.
No, that we
Please,
appreciate. for sure.
please take that as a positive.
Yes,
No, it's not.
Right, but
Byron.
it's changed,
Right.
it's changed since April 30th, that's, I mean, I get that it, I get it's a draft every single time, but it's an updated draft.
it's okay, I see what you're saying. I can say 100 other things right now about what else is going on that
Yeah,
takes the place of us getting this document. Like, I have the utmost faith in Lori.
Yeah.
And I know I don't have to worry too much because I know what she's working on.
right,
And so that being said, we will get it. It is coming. We do get these regularly. Right now, there's a lot of things that are taking her time.
And I'm sure that's true, Alyssa, but this should be spit out. It's a form document that comes right off of those program. It's nothing she's typing in, so it should. All I'm saying is that we need something,
I hear you all.
okay?
It's a trust but verify thing too,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't.
We know what happens when that doesn't happen.
Right.
So yeah,
So it's a trust but verify, the checks to the system, it's, you know. Why we're here, and so we just. I get it, I don't know what's going on, but I assume that there's lots of things going on behind the scenes and. I'm not throwing mud or slinging mud or whatever that,
I don't feel like I'm gonna leave here covered in mud.
so.
I know,
but
I hear exactly what you're saying.
I can't throw that far, that's why.
So.
You might have been able to in 8th grade, but whatever.
So, but it's kind of where do we go from today? And then what is the expectation? Like, I think coming out of your meeting, if you could even just touch base with Garrett afterwards to say, so we can have an expectation and a timeline so that we can then fix our schedule to figure out exactly what it is, because we're obviously gonna have questions. And we're gonna need her to answer those questions, so that we can then come to you and the board with, hey, this is, because they're gonna come with their draft budget. And we're gonna wanna see the numbers so
Mhm.
that we can. The numbers that we spent last year, so that when they come with their draft budget for this year. You can like, kind of like compare, like, okay,
Well, those all come in that big budget binder. We get last year, we get actuals, we get all of that.
right, so,
So it's coming. I mean, the administrators haven't even put their budget together
right,
yet.
but we assume that they're working on them, but.
Well, of course they are.
Right,
They've
so-
actually been working on them.
Kickoff meetings or something.
Right, so that we can ask questions like, no, why did this line go up or why did this line go down? And then looking at what we actually spent, do we understand the variances in the proposed budget? And do we agree with them or not? And so that we can have that kind of intelligent discussion so that we can speak with one voice, because that's really what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously there's not a lot we can do to reduce the budget with costs to that slideshow that was last year. The expenses themselves, there's not a ton we can do to reduce the budget. Most of the budget is in wages and benefits, so. That's all. I don't know if what I'm saying is helpful or not, but I'm saying it anyway.
No, I hear you. It is what needs to happen. But I don't have any other answers. I have this timeline. I assume you all have it too.
Yep.
Yeah,
So the best I can look at is what's coming up. This particular week, I know that that's a big line. I'm sure you all see it there about what's going on in the business office. Principals and directors meet with the superintendent and business administrator to discuss staffing, enrollment, class loads, and all the other budget needs. I mean, it is happening. I mean, it has to start there before it can get to us.
I think if things were like perfect or closer to perfect, while that discussion is happening, if we could have last year's numbers so that they're having their own discussion about what they need for this year, but that we're looking at last year's numbers so that when they come back and they say, okay, well, we feel that we need 37 more soccer balls added to the budget this year, we can say, okay, but last year you only had, 6 soccer balls in the budget, what's going on? So that we're like, kind of, it's that preparation, instead of giving everything like all at once. And you don't want to be papered to death, right? Because then you have to analyze last year and then go back and analyze this year. If there's a way we could get it so that it happens in tandem, that would be phenomenal.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's been a number of, how many years now? 4 to 5?
this is our.
And how many with
our
her?
4th year.
We see a progression, we really do, but, I think Amanda said it adequately. I do feel like I'm wasting my time this year, like we don't have anything, and, I trust in what's going on, blindly. I'm half blind anyway, but, we need something. We need last year's documents because we want to analyze as a group last year.
Do you actually want to see the whole book with last year's numbers?
Something.
I know you want the summary.
For the record, this is the only thing I want.
Like, I like the whole book. It's like Christmas when I get that book.
Yeah, it is, but I guess I can't grovel at the stone too often, is that really we are looking at least for last year's, so we can analyze it. My focus, and I think I've told you, out of this meeting, is really looking at Fall Mountain, the school itself. We have analyzed our community schools and sharpened their pencils
Mhm.
to the maxes. And, but we want to look at what's going on, up here in it, because, how can we better form it? Is there a structure or cost wise that we can provide to you folks to think about and chew on? You know, those types of things,
Well,
and we can't do it.
I think too, and this is not lost on anybody in this room, but the idea too is that we passed the budget for last year. This year it's a negotiation, right?
It is.
So we're gonna have to vote on another contract, which is more money. And everybody's taxes went up last year, so everybody's taxes are probably going to go up again. And so it's again, we've said this, we've again and again and again, but it's balancing the interests of the collaborative. What can the taxpayer withstand? And what do the children and the staff need? And that's our job. And whether it's this, which is fine, or whether it's the, the 311 or 113, page document that we get and you can sort it in Excel, whatever, however you want it to sort. I don't know, but the closer we get to the end of the year, the less likely it's going to be that we're gonna have time to go through that deep dive and really, ask those questions. And we owe it to the towns, and we owe it to the school district as well, because it's what we got voted in to do. So.
Yeah, it's the want versus need assessment. I think that we need to be more focused on. Again, I think we did that in the last 3 years. We were hammering our own little schools. Buffalo Mountain, I mean, how can we get what they need? And where are the wants? And is that something that we really, should have in the district? That's a fight in and of itself that you will have to handle, but we need to provide the budgetary evidence for those types of recommendations, and we can't do any of that work. So. And it's critical, it's time. Taxes go up every year. Whether we like it or not, they're going up every year, so every year. And it's, we gotta try to level fund it as much as we can, but we know that's virtually impossible.
And I also think listening to everybody, and I was wondering about the negotiation here as well, is I think now more than ever, for so many reasons, like I'm thinking forward to the night of the deliberative. Our two tables need to appear and be a united front. I think our district, I think our towns, parents, the taxpayers, our children, they need to see that we have worked together to come to these numbers and these conclusions, because we're looking at withdrawal studies. We're looking at a negotiation year, we're looking at the budget in general. And I think if we don't look like we've worked together to provide those things and really have worked together, that's a big concern of mine, is that if we look like we're all disjointed, I want them to have faith in us that we've done our due diligence.
I fully agree. But the way that works is to start early.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Not wait until the last minute and then throw a bunch of stuff out and say, okay, I guess we gotta follow the leader. That's not the way it should work or can work.
Absolutely.
That's what happened last year. It was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. We need to have a conclusion prior to it getting as far as it did last year, and I'm not saying that I didn't disagree with what the board thought, but it. Definitely showed that there was a fissure in the system, and we're not always gonna agree, but we should at least have a united front going into that meeting that. This is the budget we agree on, we hammered it, we all may not have liked it, but we all agree on it.
Part of me wonders too, is part of this? If the school board is getting the information and we're not getting the information. Is Lori expecting that we're going out and finding it? Is it posted somewhere that we're supposed to be going to go retrieve it versus having it pushed out to us? Do we need to go pull it down from somewhere? I don't know, but that's another question.
So we're not getting any information, we're not getting information that you're not getting.
Okay,
So there are things, like if you're looking at class sizes or if you're looking at enrollment things, you can go out to the DOE website and find all that. There's a wealth of information out there. I'm assuming everybody in this room is quite comfortable being on that site. So those kind of things can be done, even if you don't have the information from the district saying this is what we're expecting to ask for FY 27.
When you mean class sizes, like class size in Mrs. Belisle's class in first grade, Charlestown Primary School, I mean, what are we, when you say class sizes?
Like if you were looking at enrollment numbers, or you're looking at test scores, or you're looking at any number of other metrics, you can find all that information out on the DOE.
And I
website.
appreciate that, but I'm gonna say that we pay people a lot of money in the administration office, and if we ask it, we should get it. I am gonna draw the line at some things.
I'm not arguing that
No,
point at all.
But I know you're not. I'm just saying that I shouldn't have to go out and research some of these questions on the DOE website.
Well, my question too is, I mean, prior to October 1st, would those enrollment numbers even been accurate, right?
No,
Yeah.
Right.
so that's where I'm getting at. Like a lot of this stuff, it's really hard to say you can have it before a certain amount of time.
right,
I get the frustration.
yeah.
Some of those questions, we've been on it. We reduced the staff in Charlestown, right?
Mm-hmm.
We knew we had to wait to get more accurate student numbers to be able to justify reducing staff. And we did.
Point of clarification, we don't reduce staff.
Oh,
We
well,
reduce the budget.
thank you.
They figure out how to handle that.
I appreciate that, Amanda. Appreciate that clarification. It's necessary one, but whatever we can get beforehand would be beneficial.
See, I would think that on October 2nd, we would get the report that went into the state on October 1st. Like an automatic.
Right.
That's it, that's what will happen, right? Someone like me comes along and says, oh, that report was due October 1st, on October 2nd, I asked for it, right? That's what happens, right?
So knowing where we are right now. And knowing that we don't. Have exactly what we were hoping we would have. No, I guess the question to us then is. Where do we go from here? And what's the solution? Because we can't. We can't change where we are. We can't change what's happening right now. So what's our plan? What's our solution? So that when we meet again in October, we will have a different conversation. I know that you're gonna meet with Lori. And then what? I could be bossy and start directing, but maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just ask the question and then what?
And then we have a school board meeting the last Monday of September. I intend to sign the DOE 25. That will go. We're not gonna have that particular, like the tax rates won't be set from that yet. I mean, there's always this process. It goes to the state looks at it. There probably things they're gonna want, more information they're gonna want. It's gonna get kicked back. She's gonna answer the questions and it's gonna go back. So I don't know how long that takes. I don't know if the state has 30 days to send it back. I don't know if they have 3 days. I'm not certain what that looks like. I think at that point, she's still gonna have some numbers and she can give them to us all. Something that she's comfortable presenting.
When you say numbers, just to clarify, are you
This.
talking, okay, this seems like we're talking.
Yes.
Okay. That or this?
Well, this week, you're absolutely right, should be every month, not just quarterly. But I'm talking about this,
Well,
like the drill down. number.
I would be even okay with quarterly, but this is April and you didn't even get one for July. I know, I'm not.
Yeah, I could
I'm not-
give you the list of all the things right now, if you want.
I'm not trying
Okay.
to pick on you or
Good,
anything.
we're gonna leave that one alone then, thanks. It's not intended to be that way.
No, and I'm not trying to be that way either, but I'm just like, I know my eyes are bugging out. So,
We do want you to come back.
I know.
This is actually very helpful.
I'm a glutton for punishment, just keep piling it on.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I just. Under normal circumstances, we would have it. This is not a normal year in any way, shape and form.
No, I can't keep my eyeballs in my head.
So
Okay, I just thought we did it the first time. I didn't want to bring it up again.
the only question I guess I need is when, for me, is when should I see 24s?
October,
Okay, thank you.
that's what we're,
That's what we got.
that's what we're talking.
Yes,
And then we can start analyzing.
yes.
Okay,
So you have there's a school board meeting on the last Monday of September, goes to the state. The DOE 25 will go to the state will kick it back with questions or whatever. And then, you guys meet. October is October 15th. And
Well-
we'll meet,
Not necessarily. We are only getting the fourth Monday of the month because of withdrawal.
right,
So we are severely limited right now in,
4, so that's October
What
20th.
would happen if it continues?
Withdrawal meets October 6th. That's our last meeting to make a big decision.
Right,
I know Walpole has subcommittee meetings, but.
yeah,
do you mean if what continues?
not probably for this meeting, but you're meeting once a month because of the withdrawal.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to go back to 2 meetings a month. I would meet 4 times.
There's a
but-
possibility that withdrawal happens again in the following fiscal year. Then you could be doing, what happens, we meet.
We'll address that when it happens.
Okay.
Like I said, that's a problem for the future, Amanda.
No, I'm not personally comfortable with the once a month meeting. I don't think we can get
Yeah,
enough.
I find that to be kind of crazy, so that would mean that,
But I have enough respect for all of you who are sitting in all these extra meetings, because you're here, but you're also as a select board member, so you have that, I mean, it's just so much.
Hopefully there'll be a decision by October 6th.
Yeah.
From the committee.
Okay, but looking at just, you guys can get upset with me if I'm being dense, but. The 6th is withdrawal, and then you're meeting the 4th Monday of the month, Melissa? For school board,
So we meet the second and fourth, so we actually end up the 27th.
so if the information, if this report has to be vetted through this school board, that means we won't get it until November.
November. So how can we?
yeah, that's a problem.
So we'll
Why don't
just-
we just.
How can we fix that? So how, like, because I know that Lori doesn't wanna send stuff to, I'm trying to be solution focused, right? Lori wants to vet stuff through the school board, and I don't fault her for that at all. But at the same time, knowing this is not a typical year, how can we, cause we meet on the 15th, is that our next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we meet on October 15th. And and you guys meet on the 29th of September. How can we get the information between the 29th and the 15th so that we can start rolling into the 15th? Having looked at it or having the 15th as a working, I mean, all of our meetings are working meetings, obviously, but for lack of a better phrase, working meeting, drilling down, looking at saying, here are our questions. for
So
Lori.
I did not schedule withdrawal in October. I have it listed as a school board meeting because I was really hoping that September would be the vote. They would submit the report one way or the other for the October DOE meeting, presented to the state board. So at this point, I will put it out there that we need to go back to 2 meetings a month and withdrawal will have to adjust or something to that effect. It'll have to be a
That's why
conversation.
they can't meet somewhere else.
I think it was more, when it was originally starting, a matter of every school board member already was on other town committees and things like that. To add a third requirement was really hard. And it was out of hoping to have a very effective process through the summer when the school board wasn't necessarily needed as much. And so here we are at crunch time again, and it feels like it's always crunch time. And we just can't give up that much and get all of the things done that we have to do.
Yeah.
So I will have a conversation
Why can't the information just be vetted through you? As chair,
It probably can. It's not,
then we'd have more time
we've worked really hard as a board to be,
I understand that.
All of that,
We-
but
we-
I understand
we do
also-
that, we do that too in town and.
yeah, we want everybody on the same page. But this is kind of extenuating circumstances,
Circumstances,
and
right.
so there are some creative options. I'm fairly certain the board trusts both Jamie and myself to look at these things and bring them back to you and things like that, so.
Or even like the executive board, or like, maybe not just you, but if there's an executive board of the, or committee of the board or whatever, like, again.
We would definitely kind of really appreciate it if that could be expedited to in some capacity so that we could have some data for our meeting next month.
I'll make sure it happens.
Thank you.
And that's not how we can help too, like, we're not just trying to sit here,
Yeah, we don't wanna just
like,
piss and moan.
No, I'm just dying for a regular year so that we can all do good work. Because I really do appreciate the role you're all taking. You're so much more invested than a lot of other budget committees who just say, okay, here's your number, or slash a 3 million flat figured out number. And it has to be said that you're all different than that, and that is what is going to make this successful. It has made a huge difference in the district in the last 3 years. And I don't want any of you to feel like that's not appreciated and respected. So we will find a way through this.
we appreciate that.
The other thing is, what if we adjust ourselves, like if we met on Wednesday, October 1st, to give ourselves more time, is there anything that says it's gonna be on the 15th? No,
I think that would be counterproductive to Alyssa helping us maybe,
oh, okay,
as far as us having some, cause I was looking at the calendar thinking we needed to slide the other way.
oh, okay,
But then I looked at it and saw that that was just gonna compact things to the November meeting, and then
And
Alyssa's
go
got,
back
I think Alyssa's got the right solution for us. Kind of spearheading it.
To your point, I mean, we can look at our calendar and we can add, we can add meetings, if we can get them,
Yes.
if we, I want to said the money. If we can get the data, then let's throw another meeting on, let's throw a Saturday meeting on in October, let's throw, like, whatever we have to do to kind of make up for that lost time, so that works for us. So that we can make it so that we go into November, December feeling more confident about where we are in our process. But yeah, I think we should absolutely look at our own calendar to readjust that, not just make them readjust their calendar. We need to adjust
Yeah.
ours.
So I have in this, in
Not that I
my
need more
calendar
meetings,
here,
but no, I neither would I, but.
that we have a board workshop for the budget on the 18th of October. So we are adding additional, like, days to look at things, to talk about them. But that's not till the 18th, so I don't know if that,
So that workshop, is that was that intended for a dual meeting, or is that just?
I don't have it listed as a dual meeting.
Okay.
That has been one of the items that we've carried on, old items from communication to the school board for several months. That's been another stale topic, or stagnant, sorry, stale's the wrong word.
Yes, because
Of everything else.
we ended up meeting at the SAU for our board retreat on a Thursday night for 3 hours, like. You couldn't even find a Saturday to all get together once, much less twice, and I don't.
Chris, I've seen your hand go up a couple
No,
times.
no, it's fine.
Sure.
I do have two things to say. Oh, it sounds like I always do. I agree. I was gonna say, over the last couple of years, our Saturday meeting has always been somewhat fruitful. But I agree with Amanda. I was gonna recommend, so good for you, Amanda, is I think we should add more meetings, if we can, once we get information and we can sit and meet. I think that would be beneficial to our group. The other question, or the question I had, is there a statutory obligation why we can't get the information from Lori, that it has to be vetted through the board before it gets to us? Because I've never read any of that in the statutory
I don't
rules.
know that answer.
So we ask, we should get. So we're not getting it, and I'm gonna say it again, the statutory rules are on our side. please help us. And I'm just trying to be solution minded, help us get the information. So, and therefore I will make that, you know, it's a statement. We have the rules on our side, please help us get some information.
You might not have been here when I said that I have a meeting next week with Lori.
I might not have,
Okay,
but
I just want you to know that,
but-
yes.
in the interim, I've also heard that information's being vetted, and I'm like, well, why is that happening? I get it.
I don't know, I will.
I totally understand the concept, but we should still be getting it
Mhm.
in the form, in that raw form. Yeah, and we're not leak-minded people, you know, putting things in the Valley News. But we're allowed to get what we want and look at it and ask questions then and there. So that's,
How about Wednesday, the 22nd of October? At 6 o'clock? Does that work for y'all?
As an additional one to the
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah, it would work. It's the week after a meeting on the 15th. That gives the board time to do it. It would be after their meeting on the 18th, which might provide us additional information.
Oh, so you're proposing a reschedule instead of an additional?
No, additional.
An additional?
Instead of a Saturday.
Right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Yep,
And
okay.
meet 22nd.
that's what I was proposing.
I'm all for it as long as we actually get to have some data come our way.
I agree.
I guess we could schedule it, and if we don't get the data, we can cancel it ahead of time.
That sounds good.
that's fine.
Put it on my calendar.
Oh, so can I ask you another question about the 18?
Mhm.
What is the board's like goal, like for that meeting? Because is that when you guys are gonna come up with your proposed, not, or what, or are you just gonna ask us, like, what are you gonna walk away from here? And I know it's like not tomorrow, so I understand you might not know that answer, but.
According to my own notes to myself, that's when we're going to be meeting with administrators and finding out what they've got in mind for this coming year.
Does, now, not that I wanna put another Saturday on our schedules, but does it make sense? Should we?
Is that something you'd like to participate?
Well, I don't know. if-
We've
does
done
it
it that
make
way in the
sense?
past.
Does it make sense? If it makes sense, then because if we had questions. Again, I. Trying to, because there's this triangulation, right, of the board, of the budget committee and of administration. So trying to. Limit that triangulation so that we can get to the end result more expediently. If we're there and we have the questions, then the administration doesn't have to answer our questions duplicatively, potentially, right? If they've already answered them
Right.
for you. Does it make sense? That's my question is, does it make sense? Because if it makes sense, I'll do it. But if it doesn't, or if somebody says, no, we're not entitled to do there or whatever, then that's. Because then, again, not that I wanna, it's turning out that I'm overloading October so that we potentially don't overload December, but if we meet the 15th and then we meet the 18th and then we meet the 22nd, we might be able to actually.
It's a good long conversation.
It is, so. And you're laughing, Ryan, but that.
I'm a glutton for meetings, I guess, you know?
Yeah, calendar looks pretty full.
Well,
So,
Amanda,
that's why if I don't put it in.
I like a meeting at your house while we're making cookies with your kids.
My kid comes too.
Okay, well,
Half the deal.
So, Steve, you were part of it in the past, you've been a part, and we've been a part where we did all meet together, like you met with Justin and your school board rep. You sat together and went through what he's looking for. I sat with the high school principals, and Steve Barone at the time and went through it all.
That was the first year.
Yeah, did you find that
I
beneficial?
thought it was great.
Then let's do it.
Then we didn't do it again. So, but I think that was good. Gave us a new perspective.
Okay,
We even had opportunity, our first year, Amanda, we went and we spoke to people and we got together as teams, you know, little micro teams at the
Right.
time, you, me, Mike and everybody else, but we had information. But it was a little later. I'm not gonna say it was in July. We got the information, but our first year, you know, we started to get something, so.
you also had a little bit, I think you were asking questions that might have been a little bit easier, like, what our class size is, so those numbers are a little bit more accessible than just what our actuals. Which should be accessible, I'm not denying that at all, but, there was a little bit of actual meat that you could get into and make a recommendation.
I mean, especially my facilities meeting. With a couple of us, we went and spoke to the facilities director and went, what, you know, about his budget. And it was fruitful.
Yeah,
So this is the 18th, we're just making sure I'm following it.
yeah,
Is there a time for that?
not that I
Not
have yet, so,
No, you're on
as
board.
far as I know, there's nothing else that the administrators are gonna say has come up or anything, so I'll have to confirm all of that before we put it on, and then we'll.
No, but I like hearing your, let's do it, I'm on board, and it sounds like a lot of us was there.
This is just kind of, I'm just asking a query. I know I've done it in the past, I just wanna double check with everybody to make sure we follow the rules. Can we or me meet with a principal to discuss budget? And you know, I'm not going next week, I can tell you that. I was just, and if not, I didn't, what's the consensus of our group? What did we think about that?
Being new, I'm gonna go, I got no idea.
What did we come up with?
Last year, we, wanted to make sure that we were all on the same
Yeah,
page, so we kind of discouraged our, going to meet with individual people so that, the idea, which kind of came out of, or not came out of, but resulted in this spreadsheet to Lori and Misty, was what are our questions, ask to have it that flow, that process, so that it was, so that we weren't then encumbering their time. We all knew what the questions were that we were being asked, so that we didn't go back and ask duplicative questions. So that's what we had done last year. I think that we might wanna just wait and see what we have for, let's get the data first.
Yeah. for sure.
Let's sit in on the meeting potentially on the 18th, and then if there's more questions after that, then let's kind of make that a future problem if it needs to be.
When is the withdrawal vote? October
6th,
6th.
Kyle,
I think it's a great time.
because the
From the 22nd. Your location for the meeting,
Let's do it here.
can we do it here?
it's gonna have to go through Misty.
Thank you, Kyle.
If we can't, then we'll find some other place, and if we don't need it, then we cancel it.
Yeah, how many days ahead do we have to cancel it?
You have to just post it, you have to post it.
You probably have to warn it 24 hours
24
in
hours,
advance,
right.
but you can cancel whenever.
Yeah.
whenever.
Oh, okay.
Great.
It's the other, I'm looking at it backwards, sorry.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry, Ryan, why the 6th?
We were, half the committee was ready to vote, for Langdon was ready, but Walpole needed more time to get their draft together. They had a basic budget with not a lot of details, so when we talked hypotheticals about voting, a lot of people felt their draft wasn't ready.
Okay. And the 6th fits in with your 180 days before you have to.
The 11th of October would be the 280 days, which is a Saturday, so.
Thank you.
Also, by then Chaz will be
Yes.
sworn in. There was a little bit of method to the madness.
Okay.
I feel like that covered all of the follow-up / old items and new items for communication to the school board very well. Anybody got any last things they wanna add before we start circling back and repeating? Any new business? As Alyssa mentioned, her and I crossed paths. I'm required to notify if I talk with people. We covered in our conversation today way more than anything Alyssa and I talked about briefly earlier when I crossed paths with her.
In reality, he came in to St. Clair Incorporated, and I was like, oh, is the meeting at 6?
Yeah,
And so.
and then I said.
Oh.
Yes,
So I was
please.
kidding too, I was like, are you planning, nothing for 'em.
With no new business to add. Or open discussion,
I moved to adjourn at
second.
7:06 PM.
any opposed?
I wanna stay here longer.
Meeting adjourned.
Good.